Welcome back, dear viewers, to the next review, and it will be on a really big typewriter. This here is the Daro Optima 200, also known by its twins, the Robotron 202 and the rarer Daro 202. From the moment I began to learn about the story of the Optima Robotron and saw it for the first time in ads and photos, I wanted to have it. But I had to fight a lot. First, I found the extremely rare Daro 202, listed as working, but it subsequently turned out not to be, so I was forced to continue my search. Ironically, instead of relatively common Robotron 202, I came across the almost as rare as the Daro 202, the Daro Optima 200. All three typewriters are full twins and have only minor color differences, unlike the other Daro, Optima and Robotron twins, where the differences are more substantial. The keyboard on all is the same as that of the Robotron models and their Daro branded counterparts with the Robotron models as the Daro 20 that I have already reviewed. The most significant differences and distinctive for the Optima brand, these are the light beige shades. In Bulgarian, as well as in Russian, a typewriter is called writing machine. This one is definitely a real machine, a machine with a capital M, that actually wants to be maintained as a machine. If it has not worked for a long time, the engine can jam, and then it must be disassembled and lubricated. This happens by first separating the carriage, which is attached to the body with two nuts. The other particular adjustment that needs to be made is the alignment of the capital letters. As expected for a massive carriage like this, the lettering unit is with the basket design, but on either side of it there are two small bolts that need to be unscrewed and countersunk with their matching nuts so that the capital letters line up exactly where the others. I will show you this by turning the machine on. Sometimes this cover jams. Oh no, yes. Here is a sound insulation, you can see. Turn the machine on. You can see the basket design. The two screws are here behind the ribbons. I will show you them in photos. I will turn it off now and get the cover back on place. The keyboard has what I have already called a row of service keys for correspondingly moving the carriage directly from the keyboard. The enter key is down here on the right, as expected. Above it is this key. This here. It serves to scroll the roller without returning the carriage to the starting position of the line. The one-step right key here is slightly imprecise. In most cases it returns two, not just one step. The interval key is quite heavy and requires more pressure, but still with the idea of not holding it too long because it will mark a few positions forward. There are certain keys that often print twice, which is actually typical for most electric typewriters that generally have problems with keyboard precision. The only electric typewriter that I have tried and know that does not have such problems is the Brazilian Facet 1832, which is very rare, although relatively common in Bulgaria, but I will come to the review of it soon. Two more peculiar setups that I haven't seen on the other electric typewriters are at the very back next to the cable outlet. You can see this switch, which is actually a surge protector. I certainly don't know of any other electric typewriter with this feature. Also, the carriage isn't actually mounted directly on the body, but on a slat, and the positions of which are toggled with this switch here at the back right. I hope I have the ability to show you this without, you can see the slight movement of the carriage module. Here is the closest position, here is the back position. At the front, on either side of the keyboard, on the right, as with most electric typewriters, again from those I know expect the monumental Facet 1832, the on and off switch is on the right, and on the left the double switch with the color selector on the right. Here this ring is the color selector. The window is over here, and this is the pressure selector with 3, 2, 1 position. And just like a real machine, this one doesn't compromise on the noise level, which is actually quite uncomfortable, and sometimes it's quite possible to lose track of what you're typing due to the distraction of the noise. You can hear pretty noisy. The feeling of a heavy machine is complemented by its external appearance. The metal, massive, relatively rough, and of course heavy, probably around 20 kilos. As you can see, each outer panel is separate. There are 2 sides in total on the back and 1 on front, as well as the 2 moldings low down. You can see the side panels, the front panel, the small back panel here, and the moldings here and on the other side. So you can completely expose the chassis, the frame of the typewriter. On the carriage you can see the standard familiar settings, release of the paper clamp, and for the pinion, here is the releaser of the, here is the releaser of the gear. Totally free. You can see the line spacings here, the paper aligners here at the back, 1 paper support, The Daro 202 is produced with the plus size carriage, which is wider than the body, and it has two paper supports. Apart from the high noise level, the famous round keys taken from the Robotron brand with large distances between them make it extremely comfortable to use. Also typical of the Erfurt manufacturer to offer a longer carriage length, which I just said, which is what my Daro 202 has, which ended up in the part seller. And in the end, what do you think? A big review for a big typewriter? Thank you for your attention, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we will see you again in the next review.